Starting with the VRMs, the configuration is a 6 plus 2 phase 90 amp design. This is strong enough to even handle the 5900X overclock to 4.5 GHz while staying cool. The whole motherboard is an 8-layer PCB with cooling for flat capacitors on the back as well. This cooling design is what gives the ASRock B550 Phantom Gaming ITX-AX its cool temperatures while having a low-profile heatsink. The board achieves excellent performance while being fanless, so you don't have to expect any noise. I really wish other manufacturers copy this design. When it comes to RAM memory, ASRock claims that this board can achieve a RAM overclock of over 5,000 MHz, which is some of the highest for DDR4. While it's not important for the 5600X3D, it definitely is a bonus in case you really want to push the RAM clock speed. In terms of looks, it is a nice motherboard. I like the all-black PCB with gray accents and the PG logo with a hint of red. There is some RGB on the bottom back of the board. Other features include an Intel 2.5 gigabit Ether LAN port with Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2. It has the popular Realtek ALC1220 audio codec for 7.1 channel surround sound. The rest of the rear I/O is fairly modest, packing only 5 USB Type-A ports and 1 USB Type-C port. If we talk about the drawbacks of the Phantom Gaming ITX, it does not have the best BIOS interface. It isn't difficult to use, but other manufacturers like Asus and Gigabyte are leagues ahead with their user interfaces. But I am glad that this motherboard has a much better BIOS than older ASRock motherboards. The second issue I have is that the rear M2 slot does not have much clearance. It won't be an issue if you only have one drive that you'll run in the front slot. Otherwise, you can also use bare SSDs or SSDs with very thin heatsinks. But by far the most disappointing aspect of the motherboard is that there's no Bios Flashback or Cmos clear buttons in the rear I/O, and not even on the board. When troubleshooting your PC, it can become tough to perform Cmos clearing, especially when everything is so tight in ITX PCs. It is a shame because ASRock has really thought of almost everything else. Regardless of my nitpicking, the ASRock B550 Phantom Gaming ITX-AX is leaps and bounds better than the standard B550M ITX AC from ASRock. There's just no comparison. It is a solidly built board with premium materials, yet at an affordable price. Compared to other ITX motherboards, the close second would be the Gigabyte B550i Aorus Pro AX, which lacks a few features, but is still an excellent board. All of Asus's boards are too expensive to consider, so I'd rather get an X570 board at that point. To sum up what I like is that it's well priced, fanless VRM cooling, and the high quality audio solution. On the downside, there is no CMOS clear or BIOS flash button, and the rear M2 slot doesn't have proper clearance.